What's happening, everybody? Jay Shockblast here, and here we are where we left off after my Captain America video, and I want to talk about something that has popped up in the news here recently. Infinity Wars, the Avengers Infinity Wars, is set to feature up to 67 of Marvel's finest characters. Lots of characters that we've seen throughout the cinematic movies, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, if you will. Obviously, lots of guys that you see in the background, except for the one on the left, apparently. Thor, Hulk, Captain America. Obviously, we've got Falcon here. Hawkeye, obviously, has been in the movies. You've got, Hulk. Um, you've got none of those guys because, reasons. Thor. Obviously, you've got, Iron Man. So there's going to be tons and tons of Marvel characters appearing. We've even got, like Black Panther is going to be in there. We're assuming, you're going to have the newcomers from the third, stretch, Benedict Cumberbatch as, Doctor Strange. But an interesting story just came out as a preview for the new Netflix season 2 of Daredevil, which is coming in March. And it has an interview with John Berthal, who is playing the Punisher. If I can find the Punisher, there he is. And Charlie Cox, who plays Daredevil, obviously. And I want to concentrate on these two right here because the question came up from the reporter, and I'll have a link to a comicalliance.com, kind of summary recap that has the video in the comments below. The question was asked to him, Charlie Cox, have you been offered an opportunity to be in Avengers Infinity War? And the question was no, and the next part was really the more interesting part, and that was the part where he talks about how the TV shows and the movies are not the same. They're not. I mean, with Agents of Shield, we're kind of used to this being the same universe. We've seen Samuel L. Jackson. His Nick Fury appear on the show. We've seen Lady Sif appear on the show. We've seen other characters that have been in, background characters, obviously, that have been in some of these Marvel Cinematic Universe movies. We've seen them, featured in these movies or in the TV show, but the Netflix series is kind of its own little beast. And, we feel like, there are references to everything that has happened, in the movies, like the Battle of New York and stuff like that, Hell's Kitchen being all torn up. But it does feel distinctly, like something else, we hear references to Captain America and Iron Man in both Jessica Jones and Daredevil, but, you don't see any of these characters or anything like that. So, I guess the point I'm trying to make here is Marvel owns the movies, okay? DC Comics is trying to do some stuff, and, they may or may not work out with what they're doing with Justice League. That remains to be seen. But by and large, the Marvel Cinematic Universe has been highly successful because Marvel has done all the right things and made all the right moves. And now I'm just scared that they're going to make the same mistake that DC Comics is making, in my opinion, by not casting Grant Gustin as the Flash and not casting Stephen Amell as the Green Arrow yet. All right, I feel like Amell still has a shot because they have not announced any kind of Green Lantern. So we may still see him. Who knows? But I think it's a mistake on DC's part. just as I think it would be a massive mistake on Marvel's part, because the Netflix shows have become wildly, wildly popular. So if you're going to have 67 characters, why are you going to waste your time recasting Daredevil, you know, or Luke Cage, or Jessica Jones, or whoever they eventually cast as Danny Rand, the Iron Fist? You know, why are you going to waste your time recasting these guys? I don't know if Punisher is going to be in this, but, you know, John Bernthal at this point, you know, for me, let him be Punisher. He's young enough that he can do all these things and be a part of it. You know, let these characters that you've already established in a huge and wildly successful and popular Netflix series, let these characters be part of your 67. You clearly don't have enough time or space in your movie franchises to establish these characters on your own, so it only makes sense to take what's already there for you. And I did not mean to summon the Sentinel. So I feel like they're smart enough to know this, and I know they're certainly not gonna, you know, change their mind based on, you know, me being here right now and saying, hey, you need to do this. But at the same time, you know, I am mildly concerned because, you know, they don't always make the best decisions in the comics anyway. And it's Hollywood, you know? Like, Hollywood is their own thing. They're going to do their own thing. Um, and it doesn't seem like it'd be a wise choice. I want to see Charlie Cox's Daredevil. For me, like, I mean, Ben Affleck. I've forgotten that Ben Affleck that happened. You know, like, let these guys that you've got establishing just an absolutely amazing and fantastic series. Let them own these characters. They're young. You know, they're the right age to carry them for a while. You know, let these guys do it. They are doing huge favors for the Daredevil character. You know, Daredevil has always been, you know, he's always had his crowd, but there's no doubt that the Netflix series has put Daredevil on the map as a major player. You're seeing new Daredevil merchandise pop up everywhere in all sorts of different stores. There's no doubt that Charlie Cox has done that for this character, just the same as Karen Ritter is going to be doing the same thing for Jessica Jones. We all know, all right, we're comic book fans for the most part. You know, people that watch these videos of mine. You know, I think it's not Karen Ritter, is it? It's what's her name? Jones. Care. I got it wrong. I know I got it wrong. Kristen Ritter. Sorry, not Karen. Kristen Ritter. Um, you know, not many people knew who Jessica Jones was. Okay, let's face it. I knew who Jessica Jones was, you know, mostly because of Civil War, you know, and not because she was a superhero, but because she was Luke Cage's wife. Okay, and I know that Jessica Jones is in Marvel Heroes. She's in the Avengers Tower, so you know the name is there. But let's face it, I don't think a lot of people really understood that she was such a powerful character. You know, she's one of those. She's like a D-list character that all of a sudden, because of a Netflix series, is all the way up to at least B-list. You know, she's a character that was D-list. She was D-list. Let's face it, she was D-list. She was not a popular character at all. So, you know, you've got these young actors and actresses that have this opportunity to just fill in these spaces. And I think that's the most intriguing part about an Infinity Wars, you know, movie, is the fact that you're going to be pulling in the entire filmography universe, as far as I'm concerned. If they're in a show, if they're in a movie, they deserve to be in this movie. Like, that's the epic part about it. So many characters. And a lot of people, like, when I think about Star Wars, okay, a lot of people wonder why, for me, Episode 3 was such a great movie. And the reason is characters. There's so many characters. There's so many Jedi. It's not just Anakin. It's not just Obi-Wan. It's not just Mace Windu and Yoda. There's Kit Fisto, Cat Monkey, and Ayla Sakura, and just so many other characters, you know, throughout the movie. So many Jedi. Opal Rancy's, just a million different characters. That's what I love about it, and that is what I'm looking forward to the most with Infinity Wars. So do the right thing, Marvel. I know we're well in advance. Let's just get this. Let's nip this at the bud. Let's just go ahead and say yes, Charlie Cox. You are going to be the Daredevil in the Marvel Universe for as long as you want to be. Sign that contract. We love you. You're doing amazing things as Daredevil. Let's do it. Let's bring in everybody, okay? Everybody needs to be on board long term. I want, Mike Coulter. He needs to be Luke Cage. He is Luke Cage. I mean, seriously. Kristen Ritter, Jessica Jones. We even need Rachel Taylor needs to be Hellcat. That's who she's supposed to be. Let her be Hellcat, So let's do this, guys. I'm so fired up. I can't believe there's even a thought that goes through their mind that Charlie Cox would not be Daredevil. But hey, I want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments.